Okay, so this is attention, attention, new people on my Facebook. Attention, attention, new people on my Facebook. I am not part of the holistic crowd. Attention, attention, people, new people on my Facebook. I am not part of your fear-inducing crowd. I am not part of the activist, anti-Rockefeller medicine crowd. Now, I had a very moving video earlier about someone's end of life and their chemotherapy, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be slamming Rockefeller medicine either, okay? Vaccines and allopathic remedies have helped our society turn into 7 billion people on this planet. If it wasn't for Rockefeller medicine, if it wasn't for vaccines, we wouldn't have 7 billion people on this planet. Why we have so much cancer, disease, and chronic illness? It's because of generational weaknesses that were never fixed with the right chemistry. And weak people don't understand pain, and they want to mitigate pain, thus then multiplies the weaknesses in their body. And then you have all of these different cancers and disease and chronic illness. However, the vaccines give people some kind of layer of protection. So when they encounter an aggressive virus in the environment on a weak body, they don't freaking die. They might get a disease. So this thing with the Judy Mikovits, which is, she's being railed as a hero in the holistic community. She actually is public enemy number one. Not only did she induce needless fear in the population, because retroviruses and viruses are going to be in the population, not because of the vaccines, because people are going to be communing with animals. They are all over the globe bringing bacteria and viruses they're exposed to their prospective homes. And then we have pandemics because we have weak bodies. So they're not, viruses are not bad, and retroviruses are not bad, but people on a weak body need to have some kind of layer of protection, a transition with this new entity. And so, yes, you're going to have these viruses, an attenuated version in the vaccine, along with other minerals. Okay? So when she exposed the proprietary information from her job, she knew the ignorance in the population, because she's a freaking scientist. She understands the whole vaccines. I mean, come on. If you're a freaking scientist in the vaccine industry, you know exactly what they're being used for and why. But she saw an opportunity to capitalize on the ignorance and the fear of the population, and then she went and stole proprietary information, which caused her to go to jail, not because she exposed the industry. No, she stole proprietary information. And then she mischaracterized it and then needlessly induced fear in the population. And now we have pandemics and epidemics because people are now thinking that the vaccines are causing their diseases. No, it's your weaknesses, generational weaknesses, and then people's ignorance around pain is what causes cancer, disease, and chronic illness. It's not the freaking vaccines. They're the ones that saved you. So I do not want any private messages from anybody giving me the Mary Monkey polio bullshit. I don't want everybody sending me private message about Judy Mikovits BS. I don't want anybody sending me any private messages about you are afraid of Teflon, or I don't need to have anybody promoting that on my Facebook or in my group. I am not part of your activist crowd. And if you are going to promote those stances and you can't help yourself, then just take yourself off my Facebook. Don't get triggered by me. Because a lot of people that are coming from the holistic industry, they haven't shaken off the activism. They're still in fear of their environment because they have imbalances in their body. They're fearing the government, they're fearing biotech, they're fearing their environment, and that comes from weaknesses. Once you get your fatty acid, amino acids, prohormones, and your minerals balanced out, guess what? Teflon is not going to be your enemy. Guess what? 5G, chemtrails, Monsanto, whatever the hell it is you're demonizing is not going to be your enemy. Guess what? Your enemy is not going to be your enemy. because you're going to relax and take yourself out of the war and fight your own battle on your own home front, which is in your body. And that's the whole point of J juice. So new people, I am not part of your anti-whatever crowd. Okay, the whole point of the J juice is to strengthen the weaknesses, balance out your biochemistry, so you're not afraid of your neighbor, so you're not afraid of your environment, so you're not afraid of your government, so you're not afraid of anything. And then you will draw boundaries, and then you will then lead your life, a productive life, healthy and long. And then you will teach that to your children, so your children are not promoting all of your weaknesses. And you then eradicate those generational curses, because you can see generational curses in families. Every single weakness that you've had in your life, every single infection, every single issue, cancer, disease, PTSD, your kid has inherited that in some way. Or you've acted it out, and then you inflicted that harm onto your child, and now the child is carrying along that trauma from your imbalances. And then it exemplifies in their body, mind, and spirit. And then you see childhood diseases. Okay, so the whole J juice is breaking the curse, breaking the fear, breaking all of the things, breaking those traditions of mutations, negative mutations in the body, mind, and spirit, and resetting the body. So you are not going to bring your baggage into my world, not through private messenger, and not to my group, and not to my Facebook wall. Nobody is bringing their baggage into my world. Nobody is. So I'd rather be upfront and let you know right now, and you might get turned off, or you might be turned on, I don't know. But I figure I give you a fair warning. New people, I am not part of your activist crowd. I am not anti-Rockefeller medicine at all whatsoever. And so no, Judy Mikovits is not a hero. She needlessly induced fear in the population, mischaracterizing the whole vaccine industry, capitalizing on freaking ignorance. And now who knows how many people that she has now infected with this fear, and how many kids and families are going to be compromised because of her greed. Because that's what it comes from. She's selling books and capitalizing on the fear. And she doesn't have any kind of like chemistry that she's promoting that's going to create longevity. She's probably selling all the different pills, power supplements, and detoxes that are in the holistic market. I wonder, I mean, I'm sure she's making money off the books, but it makes you wonder what other solution she has as an alternative to vaccines. So nobody send me Dr. Mary's monkey, polio, whatever it is that you have, that's some propaganda. Because let me tell you, if on a weak body you encounter a virus, not from some vaccinated person, but you're hanging out with animals that have parasites, that have bacteria, and you have weaknesses, or you're in some Amazon, or you're in Mexico and you drank the water and you got some giardia, or you're in any place that somebody has a lot more bacteria or viruses that you've never been exposed to, guess what? You're going to get exposed to it, and either you're going to be asymptomatic and be strong and be vibrant, or you're going to succumb and then trigger cancer, disease, chronic illness, autoimmune disorders, aging, all of that. Okay? So at least now with the vaccines, people have an opportunity to get some layer of protection. They don't have to die. Okay, because that's the whole point of the whole vaccines and stuff, is that you don't die from some preventable disease. You'll just get maimed a little bit, but you're going to get maimed anyways, because you're going to be encountering these strong bacteria and these strong data and viruses, data sources in your environment. And it's better to get a disease because it's your insurance policy than to be outright dead. Because if it was left up to Mother Nature, you would all be dead if it was left up to her. Once you showed a weakness. I mean, you see when people flop around on Facebook, how many predators. I mean, you see these kids that are going through angst all over Facebook, and these predators, child traffickers, they see weakness, flopping around on Facebook. And this is why we have so much child trafficking. Because we have parents who haven't fixed their weaknesses, pass that on to their kids. Their kids are flopping around on Facebook. No one's paying attention to the child. And then you have missing kids, child traffickers, and murders. Okay? So that's what it is that people are promoting when they haven't fixed their weaknesses. And the whole J juice is to break that tradition of passing those weaknesses on or infecting your friends and family. But no one's going to come into my world and infect me with your fears. Drink the freaking J juice. Get out of the war. Bye.